Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of How to Play. My name is Rain Day, and today we're going to be taking a look at the self-appointed knight, Fernando. Fernando has been hot since he was born, if you ask him. Whether you love the Spaniard's look or not, Fernando can withstand the heat of a crossfire better than any other champion in Paladins. His massive health pool, strong and maneuverable shield, as well as a potentially very far dash, make him the ideal point contester and objective pusher. He's a head turner, as he always makes you deal with him. Stopping an enemy Fernando is usually a team's main priority. A big strength of Fernando is his reliable damage. It doesn't take a lot of skill to hit someone with Fernando's flamethrower. In fact, you just need to aim in their general direction. This means that last hits or quick pressure can be applied easily to targets that need focusing during the fight. Whereas a Cassie may be able to secure the last hit onto a champion that is juking her out, Fernando can easily secure the kill. Another strength of Fernando is his combo damage. Not only is Fernando's combo damage extremely fun, it can be extremely rewarding as well. In many games, tanks have no way of outputting enough damage to affect a team fight. But with enough skill and practice, Fernando can actually one-shot certain opponents. Now let's move on and check out Fernando's skills to see just how this self-appointed knight does battle in the realm. Fernando's left mouse button is called Flame Lance. Flame Lance is Fernando's basic attack, and it's perfect if you suck at aiming. It's essentially a flamethrower, and it hits in an area in front of him, damaging enemies who are engulfed by the flame every 0.1 seconds. The damage isn't substantial at any one time, but it can add up, applying significant pressure to low-health targets on the verge of death, since it's all but guaranteed damage if Fernando is in range. Kind of hard to miss this thing. Fernando's right mouse button is called Shield. It's pretty simple. Fernando shields and blocks a large amount of damage in front of him as he puts up a big shield. He can rotate the shield and move while shielding as well, but he can't fire his Flame Lance or his Q skill Fireball. This is important to know, as Fernando needs to make the conscious choice of whether to defend or play offensively. He can drop his shield down by pressing his right mouse button again, and it will be on a shorter cooldown than if it was taken down due to enough damage from the enemy team. The shield can and usually is the difference between life and death, and knowing when to use it can change the outcome of a team fight. Fernando's Q skill is called Fireball. Fireball is a great piece of long-range pressure that allows Fernando to still be relevant from range. This is key, as many people will try to stand out of Fernando's Flame Lance range in order to damage him from a safe distance. With this long-range pressure, everyone must pay attention to Fernando in some regard, either because he's standing on the point and capturing the objective for his team, or because they don't want to be in a world of pain. Fernando's Fireball bonus damage actually doubles after each successful enemy it hits. So if all enemies were standing in a line, the first would take normal damage and the fifth would take 5 times that damage. Talk about being in the line of fire. This potential combo damage is what makes Fernando so rewarding, as landing those double-triple fireballs can not only crush the dreams of lower health enemy flankers or damage dealers, but just make you feel really cool. Fernando's F skill is called Charge, and Charge is Fernando's basic movement skill, and it's as simple as it sounds. He charges forward a short distance. Good things to keep aware of about this skill are that A, it does damage, and that usually isn't appreciated by many Fernandos I play with. That 200 damage can be 10% of a smaller champion's health pool, which is significant. Therefore, sometimes charging into someone to attempt to kill them can be a better choice than running away. B, it can be used while your shield is up. Unless you plan on using your Flame Lance to take down a very low target, Charge should almost always be used with your shield to help reposition yourself in a better defensive spot, or to either support your teammates by blocking damage or keeping yourself alive in a fight. This ability can be altered with cards as well to allow you to knock back enemies or charge a farther distance, giving you flexibility on how it's used. Lastly, Fernando's ultimate is called Immortal. Immortal is Fernando's last stand, essentially. Immortal gives him and his allies within 70 units immunity to death, not allowing them to be brought below a certain level of health or be affected by damage over time effects for 4 seconds after activation. This is a huge game-changing ult when used correctly, and can negate a toxic time bomb by Skye, a dragon punch by Drogos, or any other deadly attack the enemy can put together. Of course, the more teammates you can affect with this at one time can make this ultimate much more valuable, but it can still be extremely useful just in keeping yourself alive, since you are usually going to be the main wall of defense for your team. If you go down, the floodgates usually open, so better to be safe than sorry. It's also good to note that your abilities will not work during this ultimate, only your Flame Lance, and you will move much slower as well. Now that we've covered Fernando's skills, let's move into the loadouts. Alright, here we are at the loadouts. Fernando is a great aggressive tank at times, and his fireball is money in allowing me to apply damage while simply standing on a point. For me, loadouts that allow me to play aggressive by enhancing either my mobility, fireball damage, or both are the best on Fernando. Here's another loadout that allows Fernando to be even more aggressive when chasing down enemies, and can be utilized if your gameplay style veers towards the offensive. As always, keep in mind that the best way to find the loadout that works for you is to experiment and buy different cards and see how they work with your gameplay style. Now that you've got your loadouts ready, let's move on into the final section of the video, the tips and tricks. So, I have 3 major tips for burgeoning Fernando players. One is to have map awareness. Being able to know what's going on at all times in a fight can significantly improve your Fernando play, allowing you to contest objectives and push them into overtime or protect vulnerable teammates from lethal damage with your shield. Oftentimes, being a great Fernando is about being in the right place at the right time, and practicing map awareness will help you do this more effectively. 2, you don't only need to stay on the point. Some Fernandos don't even look at the point, and that's not a good thing. Fernando is best as an objective fighter, let's remember that. But that doesn't mean that's all he can do in a fight. Fernando can be great at applying pressure to lower health targets and forcing enemies away from an area, and also forcing them to use their movement skills to escape his constant DPS. Lastly, my third and final tip is to fireball, baby, and fireball a lot. This skill right here can be a game changer and can oftentimes secure kills or pressure opponents in a way that many Fernandos don't realize. Utilizing the damage of Fireball can make or break a Fernando game, as it takes a decent amount of skill and practice to consistently land them onto targets, let alone multiple targets. Being able to be an offensive force with Fireball while still being the defensive behemoth Fernando is meant to be can significantly raise your game. Though developing your Fireball skill will take a bit of time, it's not the hardest skill to get used to, and will help you be a significant, well-rounded champion for your team. Well, that's going to do it today for Fernando's tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something about the self-appointed knight. And if you want some more Paladins action, make sure to hit that red button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see a little bit more Rain Day, you can find my channel link in the description below. If you want to see the latest episode of How to Play, click the annotation at the end of your screen. And we'll see you in the realm.